Welcome to Speaker Sport now with Danny and Matt. We're going to be looking ahead at the weekend's action in the Premier League. The big match to talk about this weekend is of course the Manchester derby. Man City are at home to Manchester United. Matt, I get the feeling I don't know what you're thinking going into this game, but as a City fan, I think I'm looking at the match and I'm thinking it's probably not going to be very exciting, compared to the previous derbies we've had. Just given the form of the two sides and the injuries both teams have, it doesn't look very. There's not as much anticipation or excitement going in. What do you think?
Yeah, that was the one thing I was going to touch upon. The injuries have hit both squads very badly up until now. Obviously, Man City have just lost company, who is definitely out of the game on Sunday, and Otamendi, he might be out of the game, and obviously on Man United side, there's no Wayne Rooney, and other players are missing. But it's a very
Who would
game.
you tip as favourites for this match? You'd probably say Man City, but I'd probably say Man United, just because we've been watching just the way the team's been performing. They should have beat Norwich last weekend. And it wasn't if it's hard to call it. Norwich weren't brilliant. Man City weren't brilliant, but they weren't terrible. They just lacked confidence, excitement in the play. They didn't get any clear-cut chances.
Yeah, I'll probably make Man City favourites. Mainly partly home advantage gives it a lot for Man City, and although you can say Man United have got a very good record against the top teams, and that coupled with, I think, Pellegrini's record against the top teams this season, the season before, is not great. But I'd make Man City because of the likes. They have the game changers, the Aguero, Torre, Silva, all brilliant players in their own right. And I think Man United are very young. They put out a very young side, and they need that experience. Maybe with Schweinsteiger coming back might show that experience. But it wasn't a great game in the fixture earlier in the season, a 0-0.
Is there a realistic worry that Man City might not finish top four?
I think it's realistic. I think they have a right to worry. You've said before that now you're worrying that they won't finish in the top four, but I think they're too strong.
Just given the injuries and the form, I would always back City to get top four, but that's something they need. They have to get. They have to get, especially with Pep Guardiola coming in next season. They must get top four. It'd be an absolute tragedy if they didn't. And I know it's been a tough season. It's been unpredictable. The performances, like the likes of Leicester and Spurs and West Ham, performing so well. But they've got no excuses. They've got to finish top four.
Yeah, I think they will. Winning this game will not only boost their confidence winning the derby, but it will probably most likely knock Manchester United out of the top four race. I think it might go to more than 3 points than if Man City went. It might be even 6 points, and I don't think Man United will be able to make that ground on Man City. And then it's just West Ham to worry about, who are favourites to get through to the semi-final.
Yeah.
In the FA Cup, so a semi-final for them might see the league form drop off a bit, and I think Man City have got all the players, and I think they will finish fourth.
Okay, let's look at a couple of other fixtures. Everton are at home to Arsenal, who, to my memory, have a good record at home to Arsenal, and a match that you'd pinpoint for Arsenal was a real worry. Just as Man City are, they're just as in danger of finishing outside the top four. And this could be a game where question marks on a result.
The last few weeks, Arsenal, they've dropped out of the title race. I think it's fair to say now.
Well, if Arsenal have dropped out of the title race, then does that mean Man City have dropped out of the title race?
Yeah, most likely. I think Man City will have dropped out, and Arsenal's season just seems to have ended like it does. So every season seems to have ended around this time of the year.
But you know what? I think it's not that they've lost these games. For both Arsenal and Man City now, they've not dropped out the title race for me because they've lost these games. They've lost these games when Spurs, especially, have also dropped points and seemed like a perfect chance opportunity to catch up on both Spurs and Leicester, and they've not done that, and that's what, for me, takes them out of the title race. Whereas they in previous seasons, Man City especially, they would have caught ground when Spurs and Leicester slipped up in previous games, but we've not done that this season.
Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of pressure on Arsene Wenger at the minute as well. Obviously, they go into the new camp tonight, and nobody expects them to get a result there. A lot of people expect them to be thrashed there, and this will be a big game, like the weekend after. Not just if he does finish out the top four.
They would have already played. This will be going out a couple of days after the Arsenal match against Barcelona. So,
but if they do finish outside top four, I think that's the end for Wenger.
Do you think is it time?
Yeah, I think it's time.
Would he leave though? Because would they sack him?
No.
No. So if they not sack him, that means he'd have to leave, resign.
He'd have to leave.
Could you see that though?
I couldn't.
Would he do that?
I couldn't see it. No, I think his contract runs until at the end of next season.
Yeah.
So I think he might
because I agree with you. I think he has done a good job, but let's be honest, he's not really progressed the club in the last 10 years. He's not really taken them forward. They won a couple of FA Cup victories, and they finish in the top four every season, but there's only that only counts for so much.
And the team they have as well. They have some great players, Sanchez and Özil, great players. But I really think I was always saying they should stay Wenger until the last few weeks. I think they're just showing some poor signs. But the problem is now if he does decide to go, who's left out there at the minute?
Well, I think there's always managers. You can find there are some top quality managers out there that would love a chance to come to the Premier League, and especially a big club like Arsenal. And there should be every reason that they should be competing for the title to the end of it. They've got the fan base, the stadium in Emirates, a fantastic stadium, and they've also got money to spend. I know they don't always do it. And Arsene Wenger doesn't like spending too much money. I don't like spending too much money, but when there's a job to be done, there's question marks on the signings he's brought in.
I think they were the only top club in Europe this season not to sign an outfield player, which was so bizarre in the summer, especially when they were crying out for a striker.
And Czech has been a fantastic signing. No one can doubt that, but yeah, you're right. There are plenty of other areas where they need to strengthen him.
Having said that about Wenger, I do feel he should go in the summer. I've got nothing. I think he's a great man. I've got nothing against. But they have done badly this season. But it's a big job for whoever comes in. He'll have left them with a good enough team, a good base there. But you've got to be living up to expectations at Arsenal, which the fans are growing restless with Wenger. They third this season.
If someone came in at Arsenal, would it be as bad a situation as it would be if a new manager came in at Man United? Or if Klopp has done with Liverpool, probably not.
I think the manager would have to be a quite big name as well. That's what I mean, who's left out there. Do like Pep Guardiola? If he wasn't such a big name...
Are there managers in the Premier League?
The one that comes to my head like an outside shot is Unai Emery.
Unai Emery.
He's a good manager.
But in the Premier League, are there any managers in the Premier League that would be capable of taking over at Arsenal?
I don't. He's always been, through Wenger's reigns, as I remember the last few years, he's always been names like, this person. It seems to be a different manager every season. I think it's Gary Monk last season, and he's gone, and Martinez the season before. But I can't pick one at the minute.
Ronald Koeman at Arsenal, but there's a few names you could throw about. But let's have a look. Looking at the fixtures this weekend, Matt, and looking at the Premier League table, with only how many games have we got left now? 8 games or so. Is this the stage of the season where we can predict where teams would finish, or is it much harder now that with with what's going on at the top. But your mid-table teams, is it more predictable that we're going to finish there, like your Stokes, Southamptons, Watfords, and
yeah, they're gonna finish mid-table, and also as well, like they want to win the rest of these games. Like they want to finish as high as they can. Obviously, you see teams drop off.
Is it just a case of just seeing it out to the end of the season?
That as well, and I think the prices between where you finish in the Premier League places is a good amount. If you finish, don't know, like say you finish 12th, and I think another team finished 10th.
Yeah.
I think
and also, if you lose your last 3-5 games of the season, that can carry on through to next season. Now, just an example of that is Leicester. It's the other way around, where they won 7 games or and then it's carried through to this season. And speaking of Leicester, another victory at home to Newcastle. A narrow victory, must be said, 1-0, and also they got a narrow victory against Watford, 1-0. Matt, and in either of those games, they didn't create really too many clear-cut chances. Should they be worried that they're not creating as many chances and that they are struggling to get wins? Maybe the pressure is coming into them a bit more, or should it be, should it be promising that despite that they're still winning games?
I'd probably say promising that they're still winning games. I think because the games are running out for the other team's Spurs, to capture. And I think, like you said, they do more. But I think a lot of teams have changed their mentality.
Yeah.
Against Leicester, I think a lot of them are not going.
I mean, looking at the run, they've got an easy run. I know they have to play away at Chelsea and they have to play away at Man United as well. But I think those are sort of games they would rather prefer.
Definitely.
The games against your Man Cities and your Arsenals and your Spurs, the teams at the top, those are sort of games they would rather have at this stage of the season, even with this pressure. Those are the games they want to have because it suits them more.
Because those teams will have to, even though they're not doing well, Chelsea and Man United, the fans will expect him to, start attacking, and that suits Leicester down to the ground. They're a great counter-attacking team, and I think that's the problem we've had. They've had the last couple of games against Newcastle. I think Norwich, they struggled as well. I think that's the problem. The other teams have started to not go as far
draw
forward.
Against West Brom as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But start from the bottom now. There, basically, aren't they?
Yeah.
Looking at any of the fixtures, Spurs are at home to Bournemouth. It's a match you'd really expect Tottenham to win, but Bournemouth unpredictable.
Oh, very. And I think we were talking about where people finish. I think Bournemouth are probably safe now.
Yeah, I look at it. I think. I mean, knowing Eddie Howe, he's never going to come out and saying, "Yeah, we're safe and we're going to take it easy." I think he'd still like to get, 6, 7, 8 more points on the board before they can start predicting that they're going to be safe. But
I think Bournemouth will have a goal in that game.
And a very good team, I think. They've had their fair share of injury problems, up front and of crucial players. So, who knows where they would have ended up if they kept their squad fit. But I think that's a really promising team, Bournemouth. Really good young manager in Eddie Howe. And I think they're going places, Bournemouth. I really do like them. I really hope they do well.
Yeah, I think, like I said, they'll have a go at Tottenham. They've got nothing, like I said, we don't think they're going to go down.
Nothing to lose. A team that's got good confidence at the moment. Yeah.
Why not? And it's good to see with injuries, Gradle back as well.
That is,
Signing him in the summer and then obviously losing him straight away before he plays a game. It was a big loss, but he came back, scored a goal and set up the other, which is a great start for the club.
Right, we'll finish it there. Thanks for listening to Speaker Sport Now. Bye.